Eastern Conference, I have some bad news. You're going to get your butts kicked this year by the Boston Celtics. They're going to win 67 games, and they're going to be up by 30 points in a lot of them. And there's going to be a lot of high-fiving. 67-50.
The Bucks suffering a pretty ugly loss at home, game one. I know, I'm like, second round, woo! All that being said, you saw the look on Giannis's face. I think the crowd sounded a little shocked. He looked a little angry, rightfully so. What did we just witness as far as Giannis is concerned?
Yeah, Giannis definitely has to play better, but as a team, I don't know where Milwaukee goes from here. Because
what do you
Whoa.
No,
So is this over?
No, listen, I think it's over.
This series is over.
Antetokounmpo committed that foul. Irving, shot was deflected. Change of direction by Irving.
Building the wall, he attracts three defenders and pushes it out.
Irving, 6 thus far. There's Irving getting the step. But obviously we're talking about second round of the playoffs now. Played by Giannis. Irving for 3. 3-point range. Irving with a step back. Here's Irving for 3.
He's out there now picking him up. He'll just blow by.
He's got 7. Kyrie trying to get that.
They don't double team him, so he can overpower once the Celtics switch on to him.
Kyrie inside, feeling good. Left that one shorter. Kyrie with a tough fadeaway 3. Perimeter. Pulls a deep 3. 7 from deep. And the Celtics hemorrhaging down by 16.
Dangerous from deep.
Kyrie.
Look out here. That's what he did, right there.
George Hill inside with the layup. George Hill lost the handle, got it back. They've gone up by 4. Hill pops open for 3 off the screen.
Yeah.
George Hill into
wow,
with those young legs. Kyrie,
look out here.
Blew a tire, and in transition, Bucks with numbers. Hill got it.
Mirotić into the starting lineup.
Reports to the scorer's table. Here's Irving.
Really hurts to move, to lift your arms above your head. Your core is a little bit weak, so taking on Giannis is going to be tough.
Irving off again.
C-Web brought up earlier in the broadcast, I said, how fun is it to dunk on...
Sure, everybody saw he got it clean.
Here's Irving. Middleton for Milwaukee. Here's Irving.
Why he chose the league. He wanted to be with the best athletes going to work.
Matthew Dellavedova by 10. Kyrie hits his first tonight. Irving all the way. Just under 5 remaining in the 4th. Irving is off.
Now, back to my guy, Kyrie. You know how much I love Kyrie.
You love him.
I was so disappointed in Kyrie Irving last night. This was supposed to be his show. This was supposed to be his signature game in his new home. The home of the Boston Celtics, tradition bound. He wanted this and he got this. And he said the other night, this is what I signed up for. No, you didn't sign up for that last night. Because...
Or game 3.
The Milwaukee Bucks last night shot 21.6% from the three-point line, 8 of 37. In a game like that, you should take that game over. You should be making the shots that really count. You should shoot the Bucks out of your own building when they're shooting that poorly from distance. And yet it happened right on schedule again. In the third quarter, they just lost control of the game. That's 3 straight third quarters when they've basically been blown off the floor. And the problem is that it manifested last night what's been going on the whole year. That's a troubled basketball team because Kyrie made it from the start of this season, now that he was back from injury, because he wasn't there through the playoff run last year when they got to the conference finals. He made it him versus them. Wasn't it that way all year long?
Yeah.
And then he had the audacity to try to use LeBron James as a prop, a device, to call up LeBron and say, I apologize, quote unquote, for the way I behaved when I wasn't mature enough to realize what you were trying to do for me.
Yeah.
And in turn, he's trying to send a message
Jason
back to his
Tatum, Jaylen
teammates.
Brown.
You guys, do you realize I had to grow up. Now it's your turn to grow up because one day you're going to owe me an apology. He burned bridges to those teammates. It was almost Laker-esque after the failed AD trade where the kids just quit. And I think these kids started quitting on Kyrie. And again, I got fooled by the 4 games against Indiana. They were all pretty close games. Kyrie was in position to close those games, and he did because there was no Victor Oladipo on the other side.
Correct.
And I thought, okay, they're just a little better than Milwaukee because Milwaukee has not been here and done this before. And obviously, that Milwaukee could not win a game last year in the playoffs at Boston.
Correct. Yeah.
And now look what's just happened.
Just took 2 of them.
Just took 2 in a row. Why did they take 2? Because Kyrie just played the 3 worst playoff games in a row of his career. And speaking of audacity, as we just saw the quote, how could you delusionally reach for the fact, for me, 22 shots, I should have shot 30. I'm that great of a shooter. Could have fooled me for the last 3 games. Yet, when it comes to leading, he's a poor leader. He is a naturally not born leader, right? He is the opposite of a leader. And he wanted his team. He wanted to be the alpha. And I think he just got hit right between the eyes with the fact, you're not that guy. You can't do that.
Here's Irving. Irving tried to... Irving over Hill. By Baines. Once again, Irving is on 1. When they beat the Bucks in Milwaukee, here's Irving under pressure, coming up short. He continues to have his shooting.
The trust.
Irving putting moves on Brogdon to stay with him. And for Kyrie, who fires one, and again, way off. Irving, no hesitation for 3. The range after a subpar shooting performance in Game 4. Here's Irving. Remember, Jerry Colangelo hired him to be in charge of community affairs. Giannis with the steal! Rugged play, so along with Morris as Irving comes up short.
All right, Skip, how much blame does Kyrie deserve? Honestly.
Brad Stevens tried to take the fall last night for his team, but Kyrie Irving deserves 100, make it 1,000% of the blame. Kyrie Irving was at the heartless heart of the biggest collapse to me in Boston Celtics playoff history. He was at the center, given the expectations this year, of the worst year I think the Boston Celtics have ever had, given what they were coming off of, because I'm going to remind everybody, as they know, they beat this team, Milwaukee, last year in 7 games in the first round. They took LeBron's team to Game 7 of the conference finals with no Kyrie and no Gordon Hayward. They come back, allegedly healthy, and that happened. And it was all about Kyrie. Last 4 games, they lost by an average of 16 points as Kyrie averaged 5 assists. And last night, if you look at your score sheet there, your box score, he had 1 big assist. 1 assist in that game, in a closeout game. So, over the last 4 games, Kyrie Irving shot 30% from the floor. That is hard to do. That's 25 of 83. From 3 over the last 4 games, he shot 5 of 27. That's 19%. So, here's a stat for you. He was the first Celtic in 53 years to take at least 15 shots and shoot under 40% in 4 straight playoff games. That's historic,
and
right?
There've been a lot of playoff games, and there've been a lot of players.
Okay, so what happened? he rejoined this team with Gordon Hayward, and he immediately made it this year him versus them, right? They were them. And them turned on him because they deserved to, because he was throwing all of them under every team bus that they took. And after a while, it just looked like a troubled basketball team, and I still don't know how it fooled me by winning game one. I don't know how it won game one.
Yes.
But Kyrie failed as a leader and a scorer, because the worse it got on the floor, the worse the shot that he took. Last night he took nothing but bad shots all night.
Some horrible
shots.
They were done.
Because he was trying harder and harder to will it in and save this team and show he could just go solo.
Well, Skip, remember the other night he was 7 of 22, and he said he should have took 30 shots.
Because he's such a great shooter.
I thought he was going to take 30 in the first half.
I'm starting to have a hard time remembering him as a great shooter. That's how bad it got over the last. I know we're being prisoners of the moment, but clearly this was a miserable fail, an epic fail on the part of Kyrie Irving.
You got cause and effect mixed up. That's Kyrie. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Kyrie's looking to shoot the rock, high-usage player, over dribbles, maybe the most skillful player of all time, but that doesn't make you the greatest player, even in the game, or the best at your position, or even a positive attribute for your team. Stop it. It ain't Gordon Hayward, Stephen. That's ridiculous. It's Kyrie Irving. The whole world knows this, and it's obvious, and the numbers back it up. He's the guy with the ball in his hands. He wanted his own team. He wanted to be the leader. You could see him beefing with the younger players in the press. By the way, this team is so talented, they eventually reached like détente and swept the Pacers and beat the Bucks game one at Milwaukee. They were 5-0 in these playoffs, and everyone's talking about, oh, maybe the Celtics can win a championship. But this team didn't like playing with each other. And the issue was not Gordon Hayward and Brad Stevens. That may be an issue. The issue is Kyrie Irving. You see the stat they just showed you on SportsCenter? The team actually was better. They scored more. They gave up fewer with him off the court than with him on the court. And by the way, it was the same thing toward the end of last year, where they made the conference finals without him. This ain't the Gordon Hayward story. This is the Kyrie Irving story.